Hey guys, it's Kevin here with another Q&A. It's Sunday morning, and you can see I got a bit of bedhead. So I just got up a little while ago, enjoying my first cup of coffee of the morning in my Hokkaido Starbucks mug. Hokkaido. There we go. And so last night I made a Q&A, and one thing I noticed was that at certain points in the video, the audio and video really got out of sync. So I hope I solved that problem. I just reset my PRAM. So if you know anything about Macs, you know that should help. It helped before, so we'll see. So far, since I reset my PRAM this morning, the Mac seems much snappier, my MacBook. So I'm filming this one in HD. This is to answer a question by Kevin, and he actually, I said that I answered his question in my podcast, but he actually asked me another question, and he emailed it to me. And he said that basically he's in Japan right now. When he first came to Japan, he didn't know anything about Japanese food. He didn't know what to eat. So he basically, he says he doesn't like fish, so he was avoiding sushi and other kinds of fish. But he didn't know what a decent Japanese dish was, so he was eating gyudon constantly, which is like a cheap beef bowl. And a lot of foreigners fall into that trap when they come to Japan for the first time. They don't know what good food is. So they find themselves eating at places like Sukiya or Yoshinoya, which are the equivalent of like Japanese fast food places. Those are like salaryman places, like where an office worker goes in the morning to get a quick breakfast before he goes home, or to run out and grab a quick lunch. It's filling food. It can be tasty, but it's definitely low quality. Lots of MSG, that kind of thing. A few years ago, I gave up watching all mainstream YouTubers. I've got no interest in the big YouTube names. Because they're so kind of produced and kind of fake. But recently, I've started watching again when I used to watch CTXF, Ali Trippy, Charles and Ali Trippy. And I've really been enjoying their videos. I've been watching them now for a couple of months now, following them. And I used to follow them years ago, but I really like their videos. And right now, Ali Trippy is visiting. She's in Japan right now visiting. And I see her, and I think it's her brother and like a friend of theirs. And they seem to be spending a lot of time like eating at places like Sukiya, that kind of place. Well, they've been going to some like yakiniku places now. But I'm just thinking, wow, they're eating all this. They're eating that stuff. There's so much better food out there. But I understand how you don't know. So Kevin said, so I wonder, how did you find the food? How did you find the food when you first came to Japan or Korea? And how did you deal with finding out what to eat and what to cook? Was there food that surprised you because you really liked it? Some strange food like natto? And he's curious to know what my favorite Japanese dishes are. Well, okay, my first Asian country was Korea. I went to Korea in 2002, and I didn't know anything about Korean food. I had never eaten Korean food. I'd never eaten kimchi. I'd never heard of kimchi. I grew up in a small town, eastern Canada. No racial diversity. No diversity in food, cuisine. Meat and potatoes country. So I went to Korea. I had never had Korean food, so I didn't know anything. And I bought some travel books about Korea, and was reading about it, but I had no idea what to expect. I didn't even know how to use chopsticks, guys. And where I lived, there were certainly no English menus in that city. There weren't a lot of foreigners, and not many people could speak English. But luckily, in a lot of the restaurants in Korea, what they have, up on the wall, they would have pictures of the different items on the menu, big pictures, and I could just point and kind of grunt and flail, or I'd sit there and I'd just kind of like look around and see what other people were eating, kind of point at what that person has and say I wanted one. I couldn't speak Korean either, and I just learned through trial and error. Some things I found were horrible, other things were amazing and delicious, and a lot of things were way spicy. So Koreans love their spice, and I wasn't used to that. So I, like you, Kevin, when I first came to Asia, I didn't like fish. I grew up not liking fish. In my 5 years in Korea, I pretty much avoided fish as well. I found a lot of amazing foods, like jeukdabap, which is jeukbokum, which is like a pork bokkeumbap, kimchi bokkeumbap. Those are very simple ones. Dakgalbi, of course, yakiniku. They call it. It's a galbi, sogalbi. So like Korean barbecue, just amazing. A lot of the soup, samgaetang, that was incredible. It's like ginseng chicken soup. A lot of wonderful foods. Now, as far as Japan goes, I met my wife when I was in Korea, my Japanese wife, and then we moved to Canada. So in Canada, she started introducing me to Japanese food. She would go to like the local Asian markets and buy the ingredients and come home and make Japanese food. So I had konnyaku for my first time in Canada. I had a lot of things for the first time in Canada. So by the way, my son is watching Thomas and Friends right now, and I think it might be ending I think he might be coming in here in a moment. But yeah, so you know, and what I decided I need to do, I need to open my mind. I'm marrying a Japanese woman. I'm moving to Japan. A major part of the diet in Japan is fish. So guess what? I started eating fish, and at first, you know, my wife eased me into it with fish like tuna or salmon, or milder tasting whitefish, and things like Thai sea bream. Hey, buddy. And over the years, I've just gotten used to eating fish. But there are some I don't like. I got to admit, I don't like eel, unagi, which is a big summertime food. People eat a lot of that in the summertime. It's supposed to kind of reinvigorate you and make you feel strong in the summertime and in the summer heat, the oppressive summer heat of Japan. I don't like that. And I also don't like iwashi or sardines. Just can't do it. And there's Ultraman. So yeah, my advice to you, Kevin, would be for people coming here, just meet some Japanese people first, and find out, what do Japanese people eat. Okay, don't just eat the Japanese fast food like Yoshinoya and Sukiya. Okay, from time to time it's okay, but it's definitely not quality food. And open up your mind. And by the way, you get take that away. You just get me in the mouth with your Ultraman. Okay. See, this is why I podcast and I blog. I have to podcast away from home, and I have to make videos at night when the guy's asleep. Because like me, he's an attention seeker. Camera WHORE. My favorite Japanese food, by the way, is osoba, cold soba noodles in the summertime. And I love nabe in the wintertime. And there's a lot of different kinds of nabe you can have with like broths and miso broths and this and that. So open your mind up, try new things. And if you're living in Korea, I hope you like fire. Fire in your food because it's spicy. Yeah. And sushi. I love sushi now. I love all sushi except for the unagi, the eel sushi. Love it all. Especially tuna. Maguro. Ooh, so good. All right. Hope that answered your question, Kevin. Korean food and Japanese food. What to eat. Okay, guys. Take care. Kevin here. Hopefully the audio worked. The audio visual sync was better now that I've reset my PRAM. And I am using my Blue Snowball mic again. All right, guys. Take care. Later.